Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Coach Tina. Monday morning motivation about to come your way. So happy to have this time with you. Always get together on Monday morning to share a little bit about what's going on this week and some inspiring message, hopefully, that will get you going. So, first, I want to put us in Facebook so that others can find the material. So if you're watching, go ahead and say hi. Let us know what you've got going on this wonderful Monday morning. And I will pin that up there so that others will find us. I do see an eyeball on here. Good morning. Go ahead and comment. If you're not registered through StreamYard, just put your name in the feed so that I can say hi to you. I would appreciate it so much. And those of you that are watching on the replay, because we tend to have a lot of people who watch since we have a global community after 7 a.m. Central, go ahead and put hashtag replay when you rewatch so that I know that you're watching, and put your comments always. It gives me so much joy to be able to go back through and read what you're getting out of the material. And today we have some good stuff because, as many of you know, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. I love the new coinage is now Galentine's Day. So if you don't have a significant other to appreciate the day with, that's okay, because now its true meaning comes through, right? In fact, I looked up the definition of Valentine. It is originally a card given to a loved one, but it's also someone, and I'm going to get the words, that is a special friend or a sweetheart. And I always got the love of Valentine's Day from my mom. She would make Valentine's Day very special. I would wake up in the morning and there would be heart somethings, little heart shaped dishes, or there was candy back then, but candy was such a treat before, right? Now they're just too much candy. But the point being that my mom made Valentine's Day special for me. And I know that if you don't have someone special in your life that's giving you things, that sometimes it can bring us down. So I wanted our talk today to be the 3 gifts that you can give yourself, and not just on Valentine's Day, but all the time. So, are you a big fan of Valentine's Day? One of the things I was wondering is what your position is on Valentine's Day. Put a 1 in the chat if you love Valentine's Day and you totally get the holiday and you're all in and you're wearing your pink tomorrow or your purple or your red to signify the importance of the day to you. Or maybe it's just you don't really care. It's a day like any other day, and Or maybe you're a 3. You don't even want to talk about it. It's not on your radar. You don't appreciate that everybody gets all gushy mushy and you can't get your in for dinner at a restaurant, right? Maybe you only look around and see other couples and wish that you could have a relationship like theirs. I'm here to tell you that that is not the position to be in. So that's why we're going to talk about the 3 gifts to give yourself. I've got some comments here. I have to switch to a different screen for the comments, just so you know. So we got a number 2 in here. And I totally get it. And that's why I wanted us to focus on the things that we can do for each other, and not for ourselves, and not worry about everybody else. And so we're going to talk about 3 gifts, but I'm curious, what was the last gift that you gave yourself? Was there this moment where you were like, you know what? I am going to pick out this special thing and give it to myself as a reward for just being me, just to say to myself, you know what? I love you and you deserve this. I'm kind of guessing that as we get older, especially as things get more important, we just kind of get in our thing, and we don't take that special time to take care of the most important relationship we have with ourselves, okay? And ourselves encompasses a lot of things. So I don't mean that it's more important than maybe your relationship with your creator, but because he created you, he also wants you to have an amazing experience in this body. And so a gift for yourself is a very important thing. So the first gift we're going to talk about, and I'm going to reference my notes. If you see me looking down, I was jotting down some things last night. Valentine's Day is actually 1,528 years old. How crazy is that? So definitely this has been a thing for a while. But I did a definition on gifts because I was looking at what are the gifts that we want to give ourselves, right? And I do have another comment here, so I'm going to look and see. I'm working on myself. I'm going to go ahead and show this one. I bought myself a warm, fluffy robe for my birthday. Okay, so you've got a birthday coming up. Yep, I understand that. February birthday is kind of like a Christmas birthday. It might get enmeshed in there, and people just kind of give you everything in the same bend. But that's great that you were able to identify it as a birthday gift for yourself. I buy myself Christmas gifts when I'm out shopping for everybody. If there's something that I'm like, oh, yeah, that's really what I would appreciate, I buy it, I wrap it up, I put it under the tree. And I always buy my kids more gifts than I get myself, right? And so there's always, oh, this one's labeled for you, Mama. I open it up and I'm like, oh, yeah. Usually I forgot that I bought it for myself. And I'm like, I solved that problem of awkwardly not having a gift under the tree. And it works out really well for me. So, oops, let me start with our number one gift, and that is to be present. Now, the definition of gift is a thing that you give willingly and without payment. And I think it's really important here that as we talk about the three gifts, that we recognize that it's not, a gift is not a tit for a tat, right? It's not a, you owe me, I'm going to give you something, but I'm going to expect something in return. And so the first gift that we're talking about is to literally be present in your own life. Stop being so busy. Stop allowing all the distractions to happen, and just be present and experience what life is like for you right now. And the hard thing is that sometimes it's painful, right? Like we might actually step into it and be like, oh, this is what's going on in my mind and in my world. Subsequently, those have a lot to do with each other, right? But what you don't want to do is ignore or sweep away how you really feel. If you're present and we allow those emotions to happen, we're going to have a different experience. And so recognize that, right? I see some other people are joining us, so don't forget to say hi as you come in. And we are going over the three gifts to give yourself. And we're not just talking about Valentine's Day. We're talking about the gifts that will make every day better for you. And so the first one is to be present and aware of what's really happening in your life. Shelley, I'm glad you joined us. Thanks for letting me know that you're here. All right. So we don't want to sugarcoat our life. We want to be honest and truthful about what we're really experiencing. And then as we're going through it, we take some deep breaths and we just are aware of, if you haven't heard of being an observer of your life, sometimes as we're going through things, it would be easier to just kind of disassociate from our life and step to the side and watch it like we're watching a TV program. And when we do that, we can kind of not judge ourselves and we can just be like, oh, this is me having this experience, and the things that I go through in that moment are just the things that I go through in that moment. And we can maybe have a little compassion and self-love and look at that and go, okay, so I can either work on not being in this experience as much, or I can just give myself some grace for that experience and just say, okay, this is what happens in my life. And the hope is that when we see stuff, we're going to go, I don't really want it like that. We're going to change it up. All right. I see more and more people joining. Thank you so much for being here this morning. I've got someone from sunny South Florida. Thank you. Remember, when we're doing StreamYard, I can't see your name. So and Facebook is lost to me because it doesn't upgrade it unless I go back and forth, and I'm not going to distract myself that way. But if you want to put your name in your comment, then I can respond and see that it's you. But yes, good morning. Good morning. So happy to have everybody here. We are talking about the 3 gifts that we can give ourselves. And the first gift is just simply be present in our life, not worried about tomorrow, not thinking about only the past. And, with the past, we tend to second guess ourselves a lot. And I wish I would have done this, or I could have done this, or if onlys, and those start to be really heavy. And if we only look at the future, then we're in this constant mode of, I got to get that transactional type of thing. But if we're just who we are, where we are, we're going to experience something totally different. All right. Yvonne from Chicago, wonderful. And Eunice from Zambia. So glad you guys are here. And I'm sure I messed that up. All right. So we're going to move on to the second gift. And that is to focus on what you do have. So a gift you can have every day, it doesn't have to have anything to do with Valentine's Day, is to be grateful for what you already have access to, or what you have already had. I've told some of you, but I'm totally embroiled in Tony Robbins' work. I love his stuff. I'm working to be a senior leader in some of his work. And because Tony's in my head on a constant basis, I'm learning his material, right? And from the very beginning, he taught us about priming. And priming is a 15-minute exercise that Tony has on his website. It's like tonyrobbins.com/priming. And it's a YouTube video. And it's the process that he does every day that gets him in a more grateful place. And I've been in Tony's world for over 3 years now. So whenever I think about priming, he'll mention it, we'll do it in his events, I do the priming. But I didn't do it every day like Tony. It's almost like I said to myself, oh, that's something that Tony has time to do, but I don't have time to do that. And so I allowed myself to think that it was something I needed to just do once a month, right? And then at the last challenge that was free that Tony did, yes, lots of Tony and Dean lovers. And then Trisha, wonderful. Trisha, I haven't seen your name on there, so I'm not sure what's going on either. But back to what I was saying about Tony, the priming exercise in the challenge, there was a woman, and she had such a heart-wrenching story. She had lost her 3-year-old daughter, and she got on to talk to Tony, but she was in that really positive place of, it was a good experience. It was holding her baby while her baby died was what she called her wonderful moment, because she understood the lesson that God was teaching her. And I mean, I was just blown away by her acceptance of the experience, right? And one of the things that caught my eye was in the comments of the posts. She had written her story, and at the bottom of her message, she had written, I just want you guys to know that the number one thing I did that got me to be able to have this major breakthrough was priming daily. She said, I primed for 21 days before I had the shift that allowed me to grow to where I am today. And so when I read that, I went, I've got to prime every day. And so I have been doing it. It's been over 2 weeks now. And wow, huge shift just in my own, here's how I evaluate most things. I bring a lot of information into my life. I'm always reading. I'm always doing somebody's conference or challenge or something. So I'm learning. I'm a lifelong learner. That's just who I am. But when I know it's good is when my system accepts it as a habit. And so doing the priming, I thought, I don't have time in the mornings. My mornings get kind of awkward, but I always go to bed at night. And so if I force myself before I go to bed at night to do the priming, that's what I'll do. Well, I've been tired. Like last night, I was up later than I should have been, and we'd had a long week. We had the Super Bowl and everything. And I thought, oh no, I'm going to miss tonight. But I sat down and I did it anyway. And I fell asleep at a little point in it. But I think that added to it. It kind of brought me to a different level. So if you have the opportunity, go do the free priming. And the point of it is you've already had all these great experiences in your life. I'm sure you've had at least a happy moment in your life, something you've done that's an accomplishment that you won at, that made you feel good inside. And basically, when you prime, you get into that good state. You bring all of those wonderful memories into your heart. And then from that place of like, yeah, you celebrate what's going to happen next in your life. And you bring in all that good energy and you send out love to the world. You just, through your heart, you radiate out these circles of love. Beautiful, beautiful experience. Point being that if you focus on the good, if you have the gratitude in everything, if you find the silver lining, that is a gift that you can give yourself. Journal before you go to bed at night. Just 3 things that you are grateful for in that day, and you will see a shift. Just little things that you can do make such a big long-term impact. Truly believe that. And I'm hearing, yes, someone put the post in for the Tony Robbins priming. Very good. And thank you. Thank you. Yes, lots of Dean and Tony lovers. Who doesn't love their stuff, right? You know what I love about what they do is they keep it in the forefront of my mind. They know that what they do is so important. They're not going to not let everybody know how important it is. And I know a lot of people see that as just really heavy marketing, but I have been working for years on being able to communicate my value. And that's, in a sense, marketing. And when I know that I have gifts within me that I'm not sharing, I'm holding back, helping someone else have that moment that they need to have. And that's wrong. I want to be able to put my stuff out there. And if it can help other people, wonderful. And that feeds directly into gift number 3 that you can give yourself. And that is to make the day better for someone else. It's hard sometimes. Like, we're going into Valentine's Day, and you may be at a point, like, for instance, my sister-in-law, this is going to be her first Valentine's Day without my brother. And I know she's struggling. Last night at the Super Bowl, my brother was a football player. So, we lost him in July. And each holiday, I've been trying really hard to reach out to her. She lives in a different state, and just be like, hey, I'm thinking of you. I know this can't be easy. And yesterday it hit me. I was like, Super Bowl. Everybody else is thinking about the major holidays. I bet she has a Super Bowl sadness, because I'm sure my brother watched Super Bowl every year. I mean, he played in high school, he played in college, played a little bit, tried out for the pros. And so I reached out to her, and she said, yeah, it was really hard. And we just kind of had a little conversation. When we make the day better for someone else, when we give to someone else, it shifts within us that need to only be thinking about ourselves and what we're missing or what we're lacking. Remember, what we focus on is where our energy goes. Where our energy goes is what we focus on. It's a way of life. So if we focus on what we don't have and what we lack and what we want in a bad, negative way, then that energy just brings us down. But if we shift out of what we perceive as what we want and instead focus on making someone else's day better, we're going to get more back from that. And it's going to change. It's going to make our days better. You'll find it's more inspiring. I'm looking at my notes to make sure I don't miss anything on this. You really will feel better helping someone else, because let's face it, misery loves company, right? And if we're in that negative downward spiral, feeling sorry for ourselves, other people are going to have that same experience with you, and we don't want that. And I'm seeing some beautiful messages here. Tony helping others, and Dean, yes, it's really true. Their marketing stuff. A good message going into your head. I love that too. And then make the day better for someone else. It doesn't require any time or money. And that is a point that I am definitely making here, you guys. Giving someone a compliment, smiling at them, a simple gesture will give them that momentary distraction from what's on their mind. That is so true. So very, very true. And we never know when God is going to use us for something, you guys. My husband and I had this amazing experience this week. I can tell you about it offline, but like, when you see God working in your life, it really can be kind of this wow experience. And I truly, my husband jumped into a situation this week, and I said to him afterwards, I said, it is literally like God said to you, I need you to do this. You went and did it. And the immediate feedback on it was just incredible. So sideline, if you want to know more, DM me and just say, Tina, tell me about that experience, because wow, it was like, I just kind of marveled yesterday of God working the way that he works, because he's incredible. All right. Discussion or comments or feedback about the topic today, because what we covered was the 3 gifts that you can give yourself. It doesn't matter if tomorrow is Valentine's Day and you don't have a significant person in your life, or you're feeling down or whatever. You can give yourself gifts that lift you up and fill you with love. And so the first one was to be present in your own life, to just be aware of what's happening. The second was to focus on what you do have, to be grateful for every moment. As I told you, that practice that I've been doing with priming, I was walking into work last week and I was feeling the end of the week druthers, right? Where I was just like, ugh. And as I was walking from my car to the building, I shifted just instantly. And I was like, I am so grateful that I can walk, that I have shoes that are comfortable as I walk on the ground to go to my office. And by the time I got into my office, I was like, I'm having a really great day. And I felt the shift because I was able to be grateful for just one little tiny thing. Each step that I was able to take into my office was really amazing. All right. I'm seeing the DMs, messages to DM you. I'd love to do that. So when I get on Facebook and see who's out here, we'll be happy to do that, you guys. It's really incredible. All right. Love you guys. Glad that you are a part of my Monday mornings. I hope that you get to have the most incredible week. I hope that tomorrow is a great day for you. And then all the days after, you know that you have that ability to step into giving yourself the best day possible. And like someone said, it doesn't have to cost anything. You can give yourself a gift tomorrow. It can be as simple as when you get up in the morning, smile at yourself in the mirror. Take that moment to be present. Look in your eyes and say, I love you. And really mean it. It's Mel Robbins does the high five yourself in the mirror. Say nice things. All right. Do that. You're worth it for sure. All right, you guys, have a blessed Monday and a great rest of your week.